everybody. Welcome to the Soulful Eclectic. I am your host, Diana Collins, and I want to welcome you to today's episode. So, for those of you who are our WUBI listeners and all of our Apple Podcast listeners, all of you, I just want to, on whatever streaming network you are listening to me on, I just want to say thank you. If this is the first time you're joining me, well, hell, thank you for showing up. And I appreciate you. And you know what? Tell a friend. Even if they listen for 5-10 minutes, I need those analytics to go up. But if it's you are returning, oh God, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome back. Thank you so much. Tell me how you liked it. I just want to eat y'all up because I appreciate y'all all so much because you didn't have to spend your time here with me. And I thank you for doing that. Even if you're listening in the car on the way home, if you are listening while you drop the kids off at school, not in the toilet. Come on now, let's keep it real. Right? Oh, maybe hell, you dropping the kids off at the toilet too. What the hell? However you doing it. I thank you. Thank you. I want to welcome all my WUBI listeners. You guys are my new besties. You guys, if you have not realized it, we're on WUBI Ubiquity Radio. So if you have not downloaded the app, please do. It's WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV because we are also on Roku. So if you own a Roku TV, you can download the WUBI app. And as we are creating this fabulous entertainment television and radio station that is, and you know what, I think it's one of these things that is that innovative TV. And I know we have those TV shows and that we love and we hold so dear to us. So it's that retro and new TV, because let me tell you, yes, I am a woman of a certain age and I do love my old school TV. I do love my old school music. But we do have some new up and coming artists that are just fabulous. And we want to showcase y'all. So whether you're local, you're abroad, whatever, we are worldwide. Okay. When I say what I mean world. So if you are in Uganda, if you are in Madagascar, if you are in Dubai and you want a WUBI, you can. And I didn't even try. Hot damn, I'm on a roll today. But anyways, so today is just going to be us recapping the month and how we are feeling and how has it been going down for us, right? So again, I'm just going to backtrack just a little bit because I know I mentioned WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV, but I also want to mention all my other subscribers who are on YouTube. I know the YouTube channel does not have the Soulful Eclectic in the YouTube name. It's Mystique because I like to keep everything mysterious, right? So join us on the YouTube channel and also Apple, because I can't forget, the Mac that's there. So we are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, Google. Find us in the Google playlist, okay? You can find me on Pandora Podcast. You can find me on iHeartRadio Podcast. I haven't made it to Sirius yet. Again, telling y'all, I need to have that serious money to make a serious set so Sirius can take me serious. How about that? Okay, because I'm serious. I'm about the business, but serious. They don't think I'm serious, but I am. 3 years strong, season 6. I'm serious. I'm about building this. So yeah, we're kind of coming up at the bottom of the range because I started this kind of late in the whole podcast scheme of things, but it's all right because I'm still starting and I'm still going and I ain't giving up. All right. As I said, you guys who have listened to me, failure is only a failure if your ass don't get up. And let me tell you, I done been down on that ground so many times. I can tell you what, I've become a geologist. Okay. I can tell you what these rocks and what kind of stratify is in these rocks. That's how much I've been on that ground. All right. But here's the thing. I got my ass back up. I sure did. I got my ass back up, and I damn sure gonna tell you, I am not that same person that I was when I was down on that ground. Because let me tell you, while I was down there, I did some thinking. Right, I did some thinking because yeah, you can't be down there and just lay there like, no, you got to do some thinking. Okay, because being down there is not just about being on the ground. Because I mean, at one time I was down on the ground and I did some thinking and I came up with my hair and skincare product. Stop it. Okay. And I love Divine Nubian Essentials. It's the best. I don't use anything else on my skin and my hair. Okay. But it took me to be down there to figure out that I can do that. And I continue to do that. And now that's to say that, being down there, did not create some pain, because as I said, I'm a woman of a certain age. Being down on that ground, it's hard to get back up. It hurts to get back up. Sometimes you have some scrapes and some bruises. You throw some salve on there, you take a little bit of acetaminophen or some ibuprofen, whatever your pleasure is, that's your business. But heal it up and you keep moving, because unless there is something in you that succumbs to defeat, your ass is just wounded. Okay. And wounds heal. It leaves a scar sometimes depending on how deep that wound is, but they heal. Now the healthcare part of me kind of kicks in with the healing. You gotta be of healthy mind and body. Let's be real. Gotta be a healthy mind and body, because these wounds need a little help. We have some outside things happening to help it heal, but we need some help. So we have to work on that mind and body. So yeah, so being down on that ground, as I said, you do some thinking, you do some soul searching, you do some reaching. Sometimes you have to reach to help somebody, to reach for a hand to help you up, and that's okay too. That's okay. You're asking for help, and sometimes that shit is hard. And that's just me speaking from experience. I don't like to ask for help because to me, asking for help seems like it's a defeat. And I know I don't claim defeat in anything in my life. I just, it's a bump in the road. It's a circumstance I have to go through. It's a storm that I have to, persevere through. Whatever the reason is, I don't claim defeat. So I have to like suck it up, put on my big girl pants, and use my big girl words and ask for help. And it doesn't mean that you're weak. All right, it really doesn't. Listen, I'm going to share with y'all. Okay, when I told y'all I'm going to be authentic, I'm going to be completely authentic me. Okay, so I told y'all at certain points you're going to have to ask for help. It's we can't do it all by ourselves, even though we try. And being a woman of color, just be by very nature being a woman, we are always trying to do everything by ourselves. We are looked at, we can do everything by ourselves because we are women. Hear us roar. I am Black woman. Hear me go. Right? No. Mm-mm. Hell no. I'm just gonna keep it real. Hell no. Your ass need to ask for some help. And I did. I asked for help. It did shoot my soul a little bit. And the person I asked for help was my husband. So it's not like I'm like going for like a big stretch. I mean, I have friends that are help will be able to help. That's a drop of a dime. And that's not even the case, but I'm just saying it as simple as possible. I asked my husband for help. And he knew it was hard for me to ask him for help because he's a wise ass most days. Um, and he looked at me, he said, "Huh, that hurt you, didn't it?" Hell yeah, it hurt. And I was honest. I said, "Yep, it did." And he goes, "How long did it take you to ask me for that help?" Uh, a minute or two or three. It took some minutes. Okay. I'm gonna say it took days for me to ask that man for help. And that's my husband. Okay. That's my husband. And it took me that long to ask for help. So just imagine anybody else. I ain't gonna ask some stranger. I'm barely gonna ask my friends, okay, for help. Now, mind you, I am always there to help any and every damn body. Don't get it twisted. I'm here for you. You call me today and say, sis, I'm just going through it. The battle is on. What do you need from me? Where do you need me? How do you need me? How? I'm sorry. There's a piece of hair that's just like really annoying me. Got it. Y'all saw me picking at it, right? I was trying to find it. But anyway, so yeah, so it was just like, I'm there for it. Now, mind you, I am not. Let me rephrase that because I was about to lie, y'all. I was about to lie. And I don't like to do that because them shits are hard to keep up with. So let me just tell the truth. I'm Brooklyn all the way. I don't mind scrapping. I am a woman of a certain age that I don't go out here looking for it and I don't go starting it on my own. But if it comes to my door, I'm for the shits. Okay. But I don't go looking for the shits. How about that? Okay. So that being said, my girls, I'm going to be there for you, right? We going to be there. And if it comes that we got to get fist to cuff, I'm with you. And for those of you who know what fist to cuff is, that means we throwing hands. Okay. We throwing hands. All right. I'm all for it. Now, after the hands are thrown, shit's calmed down, storm's over, we'll have to have a conversation because we can't be doing that. We too grown for that. Okay. We have to find different ways to handle some shit. And I am grateful and I am so proud of the ladies and gents that are in my circle. That's not how we roll. We classy chicks and we classy men's. Okay. And I don't mean call us chicks. Y'all know what I mean. We classy women and classy men. Okay. So therefore, we don't carry ourselves in that manner. But don't get it twisted. Push that right button. I'm just saying, you push that right button, you don't catch on a bad day. Yeah, like them people on the docks in Alabama. Don't find out. It's never pretty when they find out. But anyway, I digress as I normally do. So yeah, so it's just those things that you do when you fall. And I think one episode I talked about being down on your knees because sometimes we don't make it all the way down to the floor. Sometimes we stop and we fall and we bring down to our knees. And while you on your knees, you can pray, meditate, whatever your religion is, whomever your God is, your omnipotent presence, whomever. When you on your knees, take that opportunity. Take that opportunity to give thanks and be grateful because it could have been worse. I'm just saying it could have been worse. And I've been in some pretty damn situations. Okay. It could have been worse. So look at it, examine it while you're on your knees and start to rise up. Make a plan. Make a plan. So I know, we have all these things that are going on in our lives, in the world, and we all mashed up, man. Okay. We got some stuff going on in this world that I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this to each other? Why are we? I would love for us to be better for each other. All right, just be better for one another and bring out the best in each other and in who we are as a people and as individuals. So it's just one of those things that I just have to say, check yourself, do an assessment, a needs assessment, whatever type of assessment, do an assessment of your situation, of you, right? Where are you going? What are you doing? What's your goals here? And I say that because I got to check myself periodically. Shit happens. Okay, life happens, shit happens. It's just, it is what it is. So I need to check myself periodically and say, hey, 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 what you doing? Where you going? And this weekend has been a check weekend. Um, and it was a check weekend. I had to check in with me, and see where my mind is aligning. So um, I had excuse me, pardon me, the greatest opportunity this weekend, to meet a group of queer, and again, some people use queer, some people use questioning. This group were happy using queer, so I'm going to say queer. I don't mean any disrespect to anyone in the LGBTQ community. This young lady is 23 and she just said, I'm queer. So that's the terminology that I use. And everybody else there was doing the same thing. So I don't know if that's back into circulation. I know it was queer, it was questioning, it was teetering back and forth. And it depends on the age of the individual as well. I understand that. So again, no disrespect to anyone, but I was at an LGBT queer AF Arizona event on Saturday. And there's something I need to start doing. I'm very bad at this, and I know, and I tell you guys this, and I'm really trying to get better at this whole camera, sharing and, kind of thing. And I did take a couple of videos. I think my husband got on the mic and did open mic. And I think I have like a little clip of me doing something again, going to these events. Unless my daughter comes with me, I really don't get like good footage of me doing things. Yeah, just the nature of the beast. That's okay. I've come to accept it over the years. But anyways, um, where was I going with this thought? Oh, the event. So it was a queer AF event here, and I guess they had them periodically. It's an open mic situation, and I'm just starting to get out to more open mics in the area for different things. Like I did the open mic comedy, and I shared that with you guys at the Labs Cafe here in Tucson. But also, so different open mic nights events, and so this one there was two open mic events and on the same night, and like in close proximity of each other. And I was like, dang, that's rude because I want to contribute to both, but let's face it. Again, I'm tired at a certain time of the day and in a certain time at night. And by 8 o'clock at night, my eyes are like getting smaller and smaller, and there is no amount of coffee or cappuccino or espresso that's going to keep these little things open. So, therefore, I got to choose my events and, spend a little time and then hightail it back home because I'm tired. I get up early. And even though sometimes I'm not getting out the bed early, I'm still up early. So, therefore, I'm tired at 8 o'clock at night. My eyes start to close and get the little squint to like, yeah, that be me. Okay. So, anyways, so with that, I was like, yeah, so let's check it. So we went to the Queer AF event that was here in Tucson, and it was so nice. It was so cool. They found a lovely venue, and they served coffee. They had a few selected drinks that were there. It was by the Tucson Theater Company that's here in Tucson. So yeah, so it was like really nice and quaint. So I was like, oh yeah, this is a vibe. This is a vibe right now. I like it. Everybody was very nice and welcoming. I met some really lovely individuals there. I did get up into a poem. I was gonna do like an August Wilson kind of thing, but I felt empowered. So I did a Maya Angelou. Of course, I did Phenomenal Woman because phenomenally, that's me, right? I had to, and I love that poem because it kind of brings me back to check myself, right? As I said, it's about checking yourself. So, and checking in with me, and I had to check in with me, and hey, I'm a phenomenal woman, um, and I check myself because I need to stop waiting for other people to identify my greatness, my I know this may not be a word, phenomenalistness. Okay. Yes, I know. I just made up my own word because I can do that. It's not going to be in Webster's or Merriam dictionary. It's mine. Okay. Just play. Yeah. So it's just one of those things. I had to recognize that. So that poem is the one I did that night on the mic. Um, and I just love that it was a mixed crowd. I think I'm going to be honest. I think I was the oldest one there, in truth. And that's okay. That's okay because you know what? It gave the youth an opportunity to see that there are still some of us that are out there that are embracing them as well. So it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. And I met this lovely young lady who actually she's going to be a guest on the podcast too. She does body or weightlifting. She's a power lifter here in Tucson, and she just has a story, and I feel like she has a story. So she will be here. Her name is Nancy Hales, and yeah, so we're gonna share her story. And then we have another young artist that is actually she was from Phoenix, and so she came out here. Tyndale, she's gonna be here too. So yes, I met these wonderful people. So, and I invited them to be guests on the podcast, and they happily accepted. So I am gracious that they have done that. So definitely have them on here. But yeah, but it gave a sense of community, and that's what this young lady and a lot of the young children. I'm sorry, guys, the youth, the young youth of the LGBTQ community, we're looking for. We're looking for community, acceptance, a safe space, and this was that. And it was so lovely. We had a really nice time. Yeah, so thank you to Ashley who created this event. And oh man, there's another event that's also Wednesday. It's a black market event. I'm sorry, I'm looking it up now because I really did want to share that information with everyone, if I could find it. But if not, I'll put it in the show notes so that you guys can all have it as well. But it's Black events that happen here, once a month, for vendors of color, just Black and Brown community, Native community that are here. I'm sorry, I can't locate it, but I will definitely put it in the show notes so that you guys can have it. Just so I'm not sitting here searching through my phone for that. But yes, so there's that, and then I have a few pop-up events that I'll be doing. So again, I'm getting out in the community, stretching myself, because as I said, I am a introvert, extrovert. I choose when to be an extrovert, but 90% of the time I'm an introvert and I'm inside. So I am like taking those opportunities to go out and meet people in the community, and engage in the fellowship of community. Right. I am not that person that's in church. So when it comes to religious fellowship, that's not my bag anymore. And it hasn't been for years. And that's not to dissuade anyone in what they do. I am all for religion. We all should have a spiritual being that is guiding us, whomever that is, however you handle that. That's you. But yeah, it's just not for me in that manner. And that's okay, and that's okay. I still have God as the head of my self and my house and me. And my body is my temple, and I shall continue to praise it and glorify it as I see fit. How's that? But anyway, so yeah, so I'll be doing that. And I wanted to share something else today. Um, a concept that I came up with, and you're probably going to see more of that concept. But I know we talked about falling and failures, and you really honestly, unless you have like that 1% of luck that sparked you to millions of success or whatever your success is, be it financial, career, whatever. If you're that 1% that is lucky enough to like kind of step out and step in, and then all of a sudden you're off and running, many blessings, and may you continue to soar. But for the rest of us in that 99, we have to work at it, right? And so, as I share with my students, success in anything that you're passionate about comes with its set level of failures, be it one, two, three, whatever. There are failures within that, whether you're failing a class, failing to do your job correctly, failure, whatever that failure is, there is a level of failure before you really hit that height of true success. And I believe that is to keep us humble, to keep us humble, because you see those people in that 1% who achieve that success, achieve that money so fast, they have no sense of humbleness. And I said that broadly, um, but there could be some, and there might, and there very well may be. Um, So I did say that broad, and that's not to take away from anyone who is humble. And being humble does not mean that you don't cheer yourself on and you don't support you. And no, that's not, no, 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 no. Because I think we all have a sense of what humble is, and it's different for all of us. So for me, um, I had to learn that humbling, my showing, being humble does not mean I have to dim my light. Okay. Being humble does not mean I have to dim my light. And I had to learn that, because that's what I was doing. Because I thought in my version of the definition of humble, it meant that I had to push myself back and darken and dim my light so others could shine around me. Mm-mm. No, it's what you do with your success, what you do with your knowledge that makes you humble. What you do, in my eye, this is again, this is my perception, me, no one else. Okay, my opinion, um, and it is just that, yeah, you gotta get it, right, get it, and understand it and be about it, and show your light, and in showing your light, bring somebody on now. Be careful who you bring on, okay? Because I also had to learn that piece too, right? Because we have our friends that we grew up with. There are our boys, our girls that we got you. Yeah, I'm gonna make it. You gonna make it. I pull you. You got to be pulling your weight, because I'm not just going to bring you on just because we friends. What you doing? What are we doing? What are you bringing to the table? Whether it's your knowledge, it doesn't always have to be financial, because everybody's like, well, I ain't got no money. Uh-uh. What do you know? What do you know? You got something in that noggin. What's your knowledge? What are you bringing to the table? What can you share? Because it's about sharing. Yeah, sharing is caring. It really is. And sharing goes a long way. So, what are you sharing to contribute to this? All right. So, we have this collective of women that I love my ladies. I really do. And it hurts my heart to hear when my ladies are bickering within themselves. And, I'm not going to sit here shout names. They know who they are. And now it changes how we all interact together when we all were together at one point. But be that as it may, it's just we have this collective of individuals that work, and we all bring we pull our knowledge. Okay, we had Black Wall Street. The reason why we had Black Wall Street, because we pulled our knowledge. We did. We said, oh, Teddy, You know how to build furniture and it's real sturdy because I have a couple of pieces in my house. Guess what? I can help you. You build the furniture, and guess what? I can help you manage the finances. And then Gloria over here, she got to build it. So we can have like some of your stuff and sell it in her building. And then with that, it can help Gloria because it brings people into Gloria. You see what I'm saying? Helping each other. We don't do that. We're too busy like dividing, and the country divides us enough. There's people that divide us enough, and the whole colorism thing, and I, it frustrates me so because I am a person that, as a healthcare provider, I look at you as the one very race that there is, and that's the human race. Color just adds to your flavor, okay? But you're human. Shed off our fur, our skin, that first layer, we all look the damn same. I'm just saying. So what's in an x-ray machine, we all look the same. I don't know why we have to keep going at it like this, but again, I digress. Um, so yes, we help each other. If I am struggling to figure out how to put things up, we reach out and say, hey, mm, let me tell you, I need to kind of like get this ball rolling over here, but I'm having trouble over here. What do I need to do? You know, that kind of thing. And we need to go back to that. And then, being women, we're so catty, we're so attacking, and let's get it together, ladies, okay? And put it in perspective. You messing up your business. You're messing up your business. But I say all of this to bring to this point of what the concept that I've created that keeps me afloat when it comes to these end of the month check-ins and recaps and revamps and things like that. You guys know I'm former military. I was not like of an elite ranger or sniper group or anything like that, but I know people, I have friends, and I've learned through watching and different things, and I listen, and I listen, um, and I take bits and pieces of it, and if it resonates with me, I try to incorporate it somewhere in my life. So there's this one thing that happens when you're firing a weapon. If you ever have used a weapon, and in whether it's for target practice, if you're a hunter, whatever, you're always adjusting your sight, right? And if you guys watch these movies that are out there, and you see people shooting and they're like this, I'm shooting, and they got one eye closed. That's not how you shoot, people. It really isn't. You need both eyes open so you can see where you're going. So you're looking down the scope, right? And so that's how I'm approaching life and different situations, and outcomes, right? So I incorporate that into not only my life but my working life too, because as nurses, as nurse practitioners, as healthcare workers, we're always adjusting our plans, right? We're always assessing. Oh, where do we need to change? Oh no, don't take that. Oh no, I need to give you this. Oh no, it's never one thing, and it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating for your practitioner. It's frustrating for the patient because the patient's like, "Well, you put me on that last month, and you said it was going to work, and now you're changing me. You put me on this because it didn't work. So what is it? Do you know what you're doing?" Yeah, we know what we're doing. That's why we're taking you off that because it didn't work for you, but we're going to try you on this because we think this is going to work for you. That's the shit right there. Adjusting. And that's the hard part, because people think because you are of, a doctor, lawyer, whatever, you are always on your shit, and you are always on it, but you have to change. And here's why you change: because the direction of your sight shifted, whether the wind blew, whether your target moved, whatever. There's something that shifted and it changed where you were aiming for. So you had to adjust. That's what we're talking about. Adjusting what we call the dope. Now, for snipers, for those who are rangers and they're shooters, that dope, D.O.P.E, means something different. I incorporated it to mean this for me. So if you ever are out there and you hear me at a speaking engagement and I say, you need to adjust your dope, this is what I'm talking about. Okay. So when I say adjust your dope, that D, delta D, right? You're adjusting your direction because something shifted, something changed. Okay. Mija, look at it. All right. Something changed. So you need to regroup. Okay. So look at the direction, readjust your direction of where you were going. Maybe that direction you started, it had a bumpy road, maybe it had some potholes you couldn't navigate. So I got to go around. I got to go, and sometimes maybe it's just something that, hey, you know what? I have no other direction to go. So I just have to go through it. Okay. And that's okay. But this is your time to adjust that D, adjust that direction, take a pause. Okay, we talked about pause before, but take a pause and adjust that direction. Okay. And then once you know your next target, where that direction is, right? Then we go to the O. Because now that you know where your direction is and where you want to go, what do you expect to get out of it? What is your outcome? What are you getting? Okay. Think about it. You're going that way, right? You're going that way, whichever way it is, right? I'm pointing over to my left, but whatever direction it is, you're going that way. What do you expect to get over there? What's over there in that direction? Hmm? Identify it. What are your expected outcomes for that direction? Okay. Now, once you have that set, you go into your P, Papa. P. What is your position? We all have a position to play. What's your position when you get there? You got your direction, you got your outcome that you want to have, but what's your role? What's your position that you're playing? Are you offense? Are you defense? And that's all I know about offense and defense in sports. So we're not going to go any further than that, because then I truly embarrass myself. But what's your offense or your defense? Are you, what's happening? Are you the rookie? You new? You novice? You're learning? What lens are you going in on that position? Because that also helps you in your outcome. It also helps you if that's the correct direction for you. Because if the position that you're playing or the role that you're going into is going to further compromise you, then it's not the direction that you want, and it's not going to give you the outcomes that you want. So you really need to kind of hone in on that and play those scenarios and play devil's advocate, like put put the good scenario and the bad scenario, worst case scenario, best case scenario. Let's see it, because that's what we do. That's what we do. All right. As practitioners, you have the risk benefits that we're always weighing out. So now apply it to your life. What are the risks? What are the benefits? The pros and cons, however you want to formulate the terminology. What is it? What do you expect? Okay. And will it benefit you? Because we all do crap that don't benefit us. Hell. So will it benefit you? Or maybe just might be fun. And that's okay too. You're allowed to have fun. Do what you need to do, right? So we got direction, where you going, where you pivoting to, right? You got the outcome, what do you expect to get out of it when you get to that direction? You got the position, what's my role, what am I doing, how am I doing it, what do you expect for me to do, how am I a novice, am I a beginner, intermediate, am I an expert, where, who am I, right? Now, here's the one that we all have a problem with, that echo e. Mhm. Our ego. Yep. That ego. Mhm. That ego gets us into a lot of trouble sometimes. Mhm. That ego stops us from getting the things that we should get. That ego prevents other greatness from happening sometimes. Or that ego is what allows us to straighten up our backbone that much more and walk tall. So that ego can be either way, right? It depends on what the situation is, right? Beyonce got a whole song about it. I got a big ego, right? And sometimes it's too big, it's too wide, whatever. Okay, y'all can sing the song in your head because I am too big. No, I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, that ego, right? Check that ego sometimes. Sometimes I gotta check my ego because sometimes my ego is too big. I know, go figure, right? You guys look at me like, you got an ego? Yeah. Sometimes, and it all depends. And the ego shows up in different ways, right? It's not all about being overconfident or thinking your shit don't stink or anything like that. That's one of the ways it can show up. But there's a myriad of ways that your ego shows up in situations. So it's not that. So when I'm going to use me, for me, my ego prevents me from doing stuff because I don't want to look like a fool. If I fail, what? What's going to happen? What am I going to look like? Right? So that ego kind of prevents you from doing things, or that ego can say, look, you know what direction you're going in. You see it. All right. You looked at the outcomes and they all look like this, what you want to happen. Right? People see you get paid. Right? That's it. You know your position. You are the subject matter expert. You know your position. You know what you need to say. You know your pointers, right? My ego is saying, go ahead, girl, you got this. Right? Phenomenal woman. That's me. That's my ego telling me, you go ahead, you got this. So check your ego. What is your ego saying to you? Okay. So we got all that, right? Because we can go on and on and on and on about the ego, the id, the ego. My name is not Sigmund Freud, and I am not a psychologist. Um, yeah, I'm not. Okay, I'm an internist. Acute care medicine, that's me. Medical surgical, that's me. Psych, not me. Excuse me. But anyways, so now I know this kind of like went kind of all over the place, but honestly, this is what I had in my spirit for today's episode. So based on that, okay, we're adjusted our dope. We did our direction, we did our outcome, we changed our position, we know our position in our role that we're playing. We looked at our ego and we saying, okay, we either did a nice, lovely check and say, yep, we're gonna do this, yep, we're gonna do this, whatever your ego check was, you did that. And then based on that, you go ahead and hit that target, pull that trigger, and you go full throttle and you gun it, right? And you may hit that target, right? And when you hit that target, it's going to be amazing. You feel great. You got the cheers, the jeers, the money, whatever your outcome was supposed to be, you've achieved it. Right? The other part of that E is evaluate it, right? Go back, look at it. What went right? What went wrong? What can you change? What can you do better? Right? That's what you do. You evaluate it. Do I need to adjust the direction next time? Who knows? The wind shifts. Your target moved. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you've drifted off and you decided, oh, you don't have your stuff together. That's not what that means. Even though it will and may look like that to some people. It's like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. They were just doing this yesterday. And last month they were over here doing this. And now they got this going on. Mm-mm. Everything is not for everybody. And that's okay. And everybody don't need to know what you're doing. So you know what? Keep your mouth shut. Yeah. Everybody don't need to know what's happening, but you do. You do, right? So when you after you did that fire, right? If you hit your mark, great. You achieved your goal. Just remember that's not your only shot. You may have to shoot again. Your target may change, your trajectory may change, the wind shift, target got bigger, got smaller, whatever the situation is. You may have to shoot again. And you may have to shoot further. You may have to shoot shorter. Distance will vary. Direction will vary. Okay? Be prepared. Because the one thing you don't want to do is become complacent and become comfortable. All right? It's okay to be uncomfortable. That's one thing I had to learn too. It's okay to be uncomfortable. Because if I wasn't okay with being uncomfortable, I wouldn't have achieved my doctorate. I wouldn't have been a master's in nurse education. I wouldn't have gotten my nurse practitioner degree. I wouldn't have gotten my RN degree if I was comfortable. Because as a medical assistant, when I started, I had an associate's degree at that time. Medical assistant was associate's degree. I could have been comfortable there. But something in me was like, don't settle for less. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what you're going to do with this stuff, but we're going to need you to keep moving. We don't need you to keep moving. This is just your step off point. So when you shoot that first shot, it may be just your jump off point to propel you to get to the next step. And it may, again, look chaotic to some people. It's not their business. It's your business. Okay. So that outside noise, it don't matter. It don't matter how they feel. Not at all. Chuck it up. First of all, if they are questioning you that much, bye, Felicia, because you don't need to be here. Okay. I need you to, if you're going to come to this table with me, what you see me from the outside looking in. What's your pointers? Okay, we brainstorming. We're achieving, right? I don't need criticism. We get that from other people. Your circle don't need to be criticizing. They need to be the one that's gonna say, okay, let me help you straighten that. Go to the left, go to the right. All right, now your crown is straight. Now hold your head up and roll. Okay. That's the people you need in your circle who's gonna straighten your crown. And also tell you when your ass is wrong too, because it happens. Okay. But yeah, so you go in there. Don't be surprised if you have to reshoot, okay, and adjust that dope again. And tactical targets change, directors change, whatever. Okay. That's what it's about. All right. Being willing to change and to be open to change because it's a possibility, guys. It's a possibility. Life is all about possibilities, and things are possible to change. Like, I got to go back to work full time. I was not expecting that, but it's a change. It happens, and that's okay. It's all right. And I'm blessed to have the opportunity to do so because some people don't have that. So there we are. But it's a change. So we're adjusting. All right. It wasn't the direction I intended, but it's the direction I have to go. And it's an outcome is going to be, I can better build my podcast, better, do all these things, right? My position is going to be just this. My position is to make my podcast stronger, to make my Divine Nubian Essential stronger, to make Collins Education Resource Management that much stronger so I can help more students out there. That's my position. So I got to check my ego. All right. Because it ain't about me. It's about me, but it's not about me. It's about what I'm trying to achieve for me. So, in that, yeah, it's a little bit about me. But I had to check my ego. Here we go. So there you go. That's how dope works. That's how dope works. Um, and it's like a constant thing. It's not just a one time, one and done. You're constantly readjusting, and it's okay. Be kind to yourself. Okay. That's it. So yeah, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer because I can go on, but before I go, I do want to thank my guests who came on this month. We had some great guests, Jermaine Shoulders, my bro, good friend. We're going to be doing many projects together, and I thank him for coming on. And we had a great conversation. If you guys have not listened to any of those segments, please, we had a lot of food for thought, a lot of growth experiences, and quite a few tidbits that I think you can get some substance out of. And if it resonates with you, great. If you know someone who can find some benefit, please share. I don't ask anyone for monetary contribution. And it is definitely, donations are welcome, but it doesn't cost anything to share information. So please share the information, so that we can kind of start building ourselves. Health, wealth, it's a holistic approach. The other thing, man, see, this is what happens when I go off on a tangent. Oh, so with that, yes. So thank you to Jermaine for coming on. I truly appreciate you, and I look forward to many events. And then we have one coming up March 24th in Phoenix, where we're doing another open mic experience. So please, I hope you guys look forward to having you join in on that. And I will definitely post more information on that as well. And also for individuals who love to read, I thank Reggie Dupree for coming on. Like I said, great fantasy read. I love that it was definitely one book series that had representation of every human that is out there and every lifestyle. LGBTQIA plus was represented. Every ethnicity was represented in her series, and I thank you, Reggie Dupree, for that. Heaven, Hoodoo Heaven, and Return to Hoodoo, and I'm waiting for the third one to come out, and I'm going to keep saying it. The third one comes out in March. I don't know when in March, but I keep looking at Audible so that I can listen to the third book, Magical Mystical Mate. Yes, and I'm waiting for someone to decide to do a movie because I want to audition. I know you guys are going to be looking for the Angela Bassett and Viola Davis to play her, but please, can y'all look at me? I got some skills. I do. I can be romantical and all that. Okay. Um, I know I'm being silly. But yes, I'm waiting for them to do Hoodoo Heaven, and make that a movie because I just feel like that's just me. I'll do some stunts, whatever I need to do. Because guys, I'm always working out. Keeping sure that I keep myself fit. So, yeah. So yes, I can't wait. So thank you, Reggie, for being with us on the podcast. And again, if you have not um, graced Reggie with listening to her episode, it's a blast. Okay. And so I thank you. And to my new dear friends and guests and uh, Tiana, thank you. Tiana Felice is a director, screenwriter, actress. Uh, she just encompasses it all. She was our last guest that was on last week, and she is amazing. And she's going to have some great plays and films coming out to the Phoenix area, and I'm projecting it out there and beyond. Okay, this woman has a mind, and what she's doing is just what Jermaine and I were talking about, which is edutainment. We're giving you information, we're entertaining you, but we're also providing a little bit of education in there. So yes, so I thank you definitely for being a part of the soulful eclectic family, and you are family, darling. And thank you all, Reggie, Jermaine, Tiana. Thank you for coming on this month. It showed great solidarity in who we are as a group of collective creative individuals. It shows how together we are as a group of collective creative individuals of color. And I appreciate that we're able to share the other sides of us to the world. And so I'm just going to keep putting us out there and getting us out there. So I thank you all. Thank you to WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV for having me a part of the team and allowing me to be creative and bring this creativity out to the world, and it helps me expand. So thank you to that. So if you have not joined WUBI Ubiquity Radio, WUBI.live, if you want to do it online, because I know some of us are at work and we got our ear pods on, and you're on your computer. WUBI.live is for the computer. You can download it on Apple, WUBI app. Something's going funky with Google Play, so we're still working on that. But Roku TV, if you have a Roku TV, download the app, WUBI, because as we are building and growing, you're going to see some good movies and shows on there that, and you'll be like, what? Yes, we're going to be that. And you know what? Just bear with us. Everything that is of great substance starts out with a base. And right now we're at the base, building that foundation. But Lord, as we keep rising, that building is going to be amazing. So join us for that ride. But yes, and thank you to all those who have purchased product from Divine Nubian Essentials, divinenubianessentials.com. If you have not, please do your skin some favors. Today is a great day for makeup, I know, but today is just me and my skin. And I'm loving the skin that I am in. I'm just saying. So if you have not tried Divine Nubian Essentials, please do. We have a lovely concentrated hair oil, which is my fave. After every tightening, getting that scalp run down sides. But as you can see, I use my hair grease quite often. So this is the pomade. Smells amazing, does amazing for your hair, and it's healthy. It's vegan. Can't go wrong. No animals or chemicals, no alcohol. Doesn't dry your hair out. Great all year round. You got it. And if any of you know any nursing students or anyone who's in healthcare and needs tutoring, Collins Education Resource Management's got your back. Reach out. So with that, I'm going to say catch up with us if you have not, because we got great things happening, and continue to take care of yourself and each other. And again, we're on all podcast streaming platforms, so don't get lost in the sauce. Give us little people a try. You might find yourself hooked. I'm just playing. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you again for taking the time to be here with me and sharing information and sharing yourselves. And just like I said, take care of yourselves and each other's. Namaste.